in my blood slim, it won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms, watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5, I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember Yahawadah's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you feel low fucking cocktail. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress. She a bombshell. Revenge is served cold. I just
time to have, man.
oxtail. Glock fresh out the box. I swear got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters. There was design 5 for our babies to pass through in the day of our king's reign. I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous. I bought brand new parabellums.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my taxes. Yes, you said so. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
All right. Clap it up. We are the ISUPK, started out in 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yahawadah. And we are not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. And since 1969, we've been not preaching, but we've been on the street corners, the highways and byways, telling blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that they are the true children of Israel from the 12 lost tribes, according to the Bible. You are here with Officer 5K, Officer Dawashab, Officer 500 Chaanak, and we have a young man on here. What's your name, brother, again? I'm Salaki, I forgot.
Freddie.
And we got young man Freddie on the joint joining us on tonight's class.
The water.
So this is the official Tuesday night brotherhood class. You know what I'm saying? You're ready for that. How y'all feeling?
I'm good, man. How you feeling?
I'm good.
I'm Tawab.
Fine. How's everybody in the chat feeling? Everybody good? Everybody, let us know.
Word. So, today's class, I don't know if anybody followed the news, anybody follow social media. Pretty sure everybody does, or some kind of social media outlet and stuff. And there was a article or a clip about a rapper. Is it him and his daughter got killed, or is it just him and his daughter, his 5-year-old daughter, got gunned down in a shooting?
Wow.
Where was this at? In St. Louis?
I think Texas, if I'm not
In
mistaken.
Texas. in Texas. A man and his child got gunned down. You can call it black on black crime. You can call a act of hatred and violence. I say it's all of the above. And one thing about the whole situation is you see how far the destruction of Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are.
Mm.
You see how destroyed we are, that we're willing to unalive a man and his daughter. There's no compassion. There's no love. There's no brotherhood in the Blacks and Hispanic community. Because if there was, you would have never seen a story like this happen, where a 5-year-old get caught up in grown people's dispute, arguments, beef, whatever you want to call it. There's no explanation for none of it. Like, none of it is right, even if it was just him himself being killed. But the thing about it, that a child is like an innocent bystander, a baby, is caught up in the drama, that the lifestyle that people lead, is caught in that net. It's just, it's horrific, man. It ain't no words for it.
If I could,
You got it, sir.
my bad. Damn right, man. What the brother is saying is spot on. I just want to add, like, this story of what we're gonna break down is like one of many that happens within our community. Like, it's far often where a brother or another brother always gonna resort to harming one another when it comes to, small disputes or small disagreements. And back in the days, it used to be where no child is supposed to be, get harmed or caught up in the crossfire. And now it's the wild, wild west. They don't even consider that, and it's very unfortunate. Stuff like this happens often within the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, the more we stay, the more they keep us divided, is the more they get to rule over. The longer they get to rule over.
Absolutely.
And like, this is just a whole lack of brotherhood. Like, everything that Christ taught us and told us what was going to happen if we didn't have brotherhood, it's happening. You know what I'm saying? And discipline. Like Officer Nashar said, like, we got to get control of our emotions in order to build a nation up. Yeah, you got to have some kind of discipline too. Because check this. Even though I remember back in the days, what I thought was a street code, there was some kind of code to being in the streets, I guess, which, to each his own. But women and children were off limits at some point in time in the criminal world. Majority of the time, women and children were off limits. Like, and you see them display this in some of the movies. If you see a man with his, you see a guy you beefing with in the movies, they would display, like, you see a man having a beef with somebody, and the other guy get the drop on him, but he with his family.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? And he could take him out and end the beef, but he'll see the guy with his family, and the guy will notice And sometimes they will have a conversation. The guy would say, please, not in front of my family, or don't let my family do this, or don't let my family see this, or whatever the case may be. And, he'll be like, I'll give you a pass this time, but next time I see you, it's on. Things like that. For whoever that did this to have disregard for that young girl's life is just monstrous. Like, they're a monster.
Wicked.
That's just straight monster. Because you got to think about it like this: what it would, if people will read the Bible, and the Bible tells us, "Do unto others as you will want done unto you." Now this is going to bring some kind of retaliation. Now other innocent bystanders are going to be in danger because they're going to say, "Well, they didn't care when they shot him and his daughter." So if the police don't find the people first, if the other people find the guys, and no matter who they with at the time, they're not gonna care. All compassion is out the door. They're not gonna care if they find them with their grandmother, their children, their wife. They're not gonna care because they're gonna say, well, they didn't care. So why should we care? They still did it. Just like down here in Florida, in Miami, down south, Psycho Bob mom got killed. She had nothing to do with it. They went and shot up her van because they couldn't get to him while he's in federal prison. Like, this, it gotta stop, man. And they think that the music don't help.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Social media don't help. Because they making all this stuff hip. Drill music is running up on your opposition, gunning somebody down in front of anybody and everybody, bragging about it. They're making that shit the thing. I mean, it's like they're making that the bee's knees. Like, they're making that thing cool. They're making it hip. They're making it so you can get used to somebody saying, I'm smoking my op, or I just ran down on somebody. It's a never ending circle. You seen what happened to King Von? Everybody in that little circle, like, one day our people got to realize that, yeah, the white man is killing us, but we killing us too. And then anything you want to bring up the top shot, you got.
Nah, man, you right on. We can jump right to the scriptures. Let's go ahead and if you think of any verse you want to grab, I do got a verse that I got on hand right now.
Well, let's grab it then. What we doing?
Let's get
What's the hold up?
Let's get Deuteronomy 28 and 54. Let's grab that real quick. Because one thing I do want to point out is, right, like with us, when it comes to us, you know what I'm saying? Like, black people, we have a strong will to harm one another. But when it comes to our oppressor, we are most likely to show them some type of compassion or remorse, right? And a prime example of that would be the whole civil rights movement, right? When we was out there marching for civil rights and getting dogs sicked on us, water hose sprayed on us, getting beat every time we marched, you know what I'm saying? And we still went out there asking to be equal with America, asking for our oppressor to love us. You know, and we was leaving out there harmed and bruised and battered, right? And that same energy that we expressed during the civil rights movement is the same energy that we need exclusively for our community. You know what I'm saying? Like if we display that same ounce of remorse and forgiveness to America and our oppressors, you know what I'm saying? It should be no problem for us to do the same for our brothers and sisters who look just like us. You know what I mean? And we're not even the ones that cause the whole issue or situation amongst each other. Right? What's important is for us to find a root in the cause of this issue. Right? Let's start it out with Deuteronomy 28:54.
All right, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, 54, verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother.
His eye shall be what?
His eye shall be evil towards his brother.
Right. What you'll find out when you read Deuteronomy 28, this whole chapter is about the children of Israel and receiving their blessings if they kept the commandments, and also receiving punishments if they break the commandments. So from 28 to 1 through 14, it lets you know all the blessings that the children of Israel will get if they kept the Lord's commandments, if they did what the Lord told them to do, right? And then once you go up down from 15 all the way to 68, it lets you know all the punishments God has stored for us for not keeping his commandments. Well, black people got to understand that we are them. We are the children of Israel. We are the real Jews. All blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the biblical Jews, the biblical Israelites, right? And what we're reading about describes our experience to the T. Nobody else fit this but us, right? And it's explaining what goes on in our community. The violence that goes on in our community is a punishment from God. It's from us turning away from the law. Because the law hinges on what? What two things that Christ said that the law hinges on? Anybody recall?
So like
Go ahead.
fear of the Lord.
Not
Okay,
quite.
let's say love God with all our heart and love one another.
There you go, right? To love the Lord with all our heart, our mind, our soul, and our strength. And the second is like unto it. Love thy brother as thyself. Everything, every law that's written up in the Bible circles around brotherhood. It all pertains to brotherhood. It all pertains to how we deal with each other as a nation. Every single law. If you love your brother, you won't steal from him. That's a commandment. If you love your brother, you won't commit adultery. That's a commandment. If you love your brother, you won't kill him. That's a commandment. All right? So the Lord is saying, loving thy brother as thyself is a reflection of how much you love God. And as soon as we break away from that, we step away from that, we go right into hating one another. You know what I'm saying? Once we break away from the commandments, which circles around brotherhood, we lose that spirit of brotherhood for each other. We lose that love for each other. And slavery has done a number on us, man. We tried our best to assimilate to America and to love America, and we ran out of love for our own. All right? Let me read Nashar real quick. What he said? He said, bad thing about it, oppression from the oppressor is the root of our anger, and oppression and aggression, not your brother, but that's who gets harmed, right? You know what I mean? Like that's the root of it. You know, they love to say, man, they make it seem as if it's primarily our fault. It's not. It's not your fault, black man. And I'm not trying to speak towards to have a victim mentality and all of that stuff, but you have been victimized. Let's at least acknowledge that, right? We can't get past issues amongst each other if we can't first acknowledge the issue that was done from our oppressor. Because a lot of it stems from that. Don't you know that trauma gets passed down genetically? How many people knew that? Right? Trauma gets passed down genetically, right? And we experienced something that was very traumatic, which is slavery, and we carried that on throughout our generation. This is why we walk around triggered in America. We're so quick to harm one another because what happened to us back then, which we never got justice for. You know what I'm saying? They are the root and the cause of our issues. You know what I'm saying? Wanting to join our oppressor, serve their gods, follow their beliefs, and turn away from our God turns us haters of each other. Right? Read on.
And toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
Right. This is what's going on amongst us. From breaking away from our God. Right? Let me just add this as well, too. Just a sidebar, right? The myth about black on black crime. Right? I'm here to tell you it's just a myth. It's exactly that. Black on black crime is not real as they make it out to be. Is black people harming each other at a high rate? Yes, we are. Are we committing crimes against each other that we should not be committing? Yes, we are. Right? But here's the thing. Every nation on this earth commits crime against the people that's within their proximity. Every community does that. A Chinese man in Chinatown is beefing with another Chinese man. Guess where? In Chinatown. You get what I'm saying? The people that you come across the most, that you're around the most, is the people you're likely going to have issues with. You understand what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with us as well. We're not inherently violent. It's not like we're just instinctively violent as a people and uncivilized. The problem is slavery and the lack of resources. So the people you're going to beef with is the people in your hood. That's the people you're going to beef with. You know what I mean? And they came up with this whole propaganda tool to make it seem as if we're inherently violent by labeling it black on black crime. That's a propaganda scheme because you'll never hear about white on white crime. They'll never blast the story of the white man who killed his whole family and the dog, right? You'll never hear about that. You know what I'm saying? And what they doing to their family and killing off the whole neighborhood. They don't title it as a white on white crime, but it does happen. You know what I'm saying? The only reason they gave us that title is to push their propaganda, to brainwash us to think this is just who we are. We just uncivilized. We were swinging from vines in Africa. The white man came and found us and made us civilized again. No. You know what I'm saying? We learned violence from him. He's the violent one. All right? Any more on that? That was it?
So, Doctor,
Go ahead.
you got another verse you about to bring up?
Yeah, but if you want to bring out something, you can go ahead.
No, I was just gonna tell them to read verse 66 and break that down real quick. If
Yeah,
I
go
may.
ahead. What do you think?
Deuteronomy 6.
66. Deuteronomy 28 and 66. Select it.
Gotcha.
Because this goes on, and this is what people don't, them brothers, like, they don't understand the way they think is a part of the curse that the Lord put on our people. Now, if you could, go ahead, warrior.
Right. Deuteronomy 28:66. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou
That
shalt.
slow it down, slow it down. The people that hang in the streets, people that call themselves living a thug life, the people that call themselves being gangsters and gang members, their life is in doubt because at any moment their life could end. When you got so-called beef with people out there in the streets and you in the streets and you got rap beef or any kind of beef with somebody, you know that at any moment the person that you got beef with can spin the block, as they say. They could catch you anywhere. It's no rules into it when you live in that life. So your life hang in doubt. You don't know if you're gonna make it home. When you wake up in the morning, when you wake up that day, you might you don't know if you're gonna return home. When you live in that type of lifestyle, your parents don't know if you're gonna return home. Every phone call could be that phone call. Is this the parents of such and such? Yes. Well, ma'am, because usually it's a single parent family. It's, ma'am, I'm sorry to inform you that your son has been unalived. Keep reading, warrior.
Come. And thou shalt fear day and night.
You can't tell me that this brother didn't have that fear when he knew. Because you can't tell me that words wasn't exchanged between him and whoever, did the shooting. I'm pretty sure words was exchanged before this happened. This has been an ongoing thing. So now he worried day and night when he leave the house, or with any person that live in that type of lifestyle. You worry day and night of what's going to happen to you. Damn, if do they know where I stay at? Is my parents them okay? If mom does, if my brother, if my child, if my girl okay? You worry day and night about what could happen because you know anything could happen when you live in that life. You know at any point in time, things can go bonkers. Any point in time, you could be walking out of the store and just hear gunshots. You ain't got your life is hanging in doubt. You fearing for your life day and night. Keep reading.
Come. And shall have none assurance of thy life.
And have no assurance of your life. You don't know if you're gonna make it. You don't know if you're gonna make it next to the next year, the next week, the next day. Because at any point in time, they call it retaliation murders. Somebody from their side unalive somebody, so somebody on the other side finna unalive that person. This is a curse. This ain't
Never-ending
no.
cycle.
So like you said,
No, I just said it's a never-ending cycle.
right. This is a curse. This not no way of life. We didn't live like this back in the day. It's like I just wanted to bring that up.
Chaanak. Nah, that was the end of the verse. You can finish it out if you want. Get down.
No, that was the end of the verse, sir.
Oh, nah, damn right, man. Damn right. I mean, it's unfortunate now. You gotta hang in doubt for your children now too. You ain't safe with them around. People that you have issues with will still try to harm you, even with your kids around. You know what I mean?
And if I could, I can tell
Get
you
that.
a quick story. It's a true story.
Mm-hmm.
I knew a guy back in the day. He was living the same type of life. You know what I'm saying? And he unalived a few people, and he was into it with some guys, and he tried to kidnap the other guy's children. What he did was he tried to go and check them out of school because some kind of way he knew what school they went to. And I guess it was a failed attempt because he didn't. Well, it had to be a failed attempt because they wouldn't release the kids to him because some kind of way your name got to be on the list for them to be released in your custody at most schools and daycare. So after that happened, that just turned up the beef that he had with anybody else with the other guy, and not even a full week later he was found dead. So I'm saying that to say this is like you doing something so wicked and so evil. Murdering somebody is already evil and wicked, but now y'all putting children into the equation. You don't think the Lord's gonna have some say so in that, or the last say so in that? Like the wages of sin is death. You know what I mean? And when I heard that, I was just like, wow. I wouldn't put it past the person because he done some things that I done heard of that was just crazy. But that right there to try to get somebody kids out of school and what you was gonna do, hold them for ransom?
Dang.
You know what I'm saying? That could go any other way. So now, like, just God forbid, I'm glad it didn't happen. But I know that guy. And if the people didn't pay, what you was gonna do? You too far in not to just let the kids go. So you might think, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that demon and that evil spirit gonna tell that person, man, you got to do something about this because they know who you are.
Can I say something?
Now it's a whole nother situation.
Oh, sorry.
No, get down, Wade. Go ahead.
I was just saying, when I was growing up, it was always known in the hood, you had to make yourself, you had to make a name for yourself. You know what I'm saying? It was a good thing to be evil, you know what I'm saying? And I don't understand why like we was raised that way. You know what I mean? It's just crazy to me.
Yeah, man. If I could, I don't know if you was gonna say something or not.
No, I was just gonna say that was it. That was all I was gonna say.
God, man, that's wild, man. Like stuff like that, man. What y'all experience happens every day in every city all across America. You know what I mean? Like there's a hood, a ghetto in every state in America, and all of them suffering the same thing. You know what I mean? And if you go in those ghettos, you go in those hoods, you only gonna find our people. Only find our people. The only solution to us getting out of this condition and for us to stop harming one another is the Bible. That is the only solution for us. You know what I mean? Integration had the heightened our hatred for one another. Because we learned all of this from the oppressor. God is the only one that can fix this for us. Not joining America, not joining your slave master, because we learn to be wicked from him. If I could, can I get Exodus 2:11? My bad, Kana. I got one more verse. My bad.
No, you good, sir. You good.
Uh, Love T said, things are so crazy now that men and women have died just from perceived danger. I've seen people get unalived just because they didn't know how strong the other party was coming. It's a sick cycle, right? Facts, man. You know what I mean? Like people get unalive for the smallest things, and like the brother said, like Fred said, they do it for clout. Like it's even more now because you can record your unaliving now, and you will be famous overnight. They post they unalivings on YouTube, on Facebook, or whatever they on, they social media site, snitching on themselves, but they don't even give a damn because they just want the recognition for it. You know what I'm saying? That is nothing but life wasted. Such a precious soul gone to waste. Not knowing that you are God's chosen people. We got laws that prohibit us to act this way. They don't. Your oppressor don't have a law or a standard that makes him to be a moral, upright human being. That's why he goes around about and kills everybody on this earth. You know what I'm saying? He has no restraint to his will. But when it comes to us, we do. You know what I'm saying? We have records and law that tells us that we can't go out and be a murderous beast like this devil is. All we got to do is open it up and follow it and realize it's talking about us. It's talking directly to you, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. Like the verse that Chaanak just read. Who else fits that? Who else fit these punishments to the T? You know what I'm saying? You don't hear, like I said, you don't hear on the news about white on white crime. You don't hear about Jewish on Jewish crime, Chinese on Chinese crime, Japan on Japanese crime. You don't hear about that. You know what I'm saying? We the one that suffered these punishments because we are the children of Israel. Right? And I'm gonna read about that in the Bible. You got that for me real quick?
I got it. Oh, you wanted the young man.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to read, yeah, go ahead and read.
No, the young man can read it.
All right.
The Exodus 2 and 11.
Yeah, 2 and 11.
Gotcha.
Now, I appreciate it, Chaanak. I appreciate it.
No sweat, sir. No sweat.
Yeah, go ahead. You got it, Fred.
This is Exodus chapter 2, verse 11. And it came to pass in those days when Moses was grown, that he went out unto his brethren, looked on their burdens, and he spied an Egyptian smiting in Hebrew.
He seen what?
He spied an Egyptian smiting in Hebrew.
Now, remember, this is thousands of years ago that we're reading about this particular event that's taking place, right? This is Moses, who's infamously known for freeing the children of Israel, right? Prior to that, he was raised under Pharaoh. So one day he decided, you know what? I'm going to leave Pharaoh's house real quick, and I'm going to see what my people is up to. What's going on in their community, in their quarters, in their province. So as he went out to see what's going on, he seen an Egyptian smiting a Hebrew. Right? What role did the Hebrews play in Egypt during the time of Moses? What role? Go ahead.
They were slaves.
They were the slaves. Give the brother a hand. You know what I'm saying? They was a slave. And that will make the Egyptians what then?
The oppressors.
The slave master. You know what I'm saying? The oppressors. You know what I'm saying? Well, let's fast forward to today in 2025. Black people was brought over here in America to be what? To be slaves.
Right.
Right? Their slave masters is so-called white man. Right? A police officer, a slave master, right? Beating a black man is no different from what we're reading about right here in the Bible. Well, the oppressor abusing the slaves is the same thing we suffer from here today in America. Whenever a law enforcement unalives a black man, that is nothing from the abuse of the slave master, because we're still in slavery till this day. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are still in slavery. You know how I know? Because we don't know our identity.
Right.
It's still a slave. And Moses seen police brutality thousands of years ago. He seen that happen. That should tell you something, black man. But nobody else fit this but you. Right? Read on.
One of his brethren. That was the end of that verse. Did you want me to keep going?
Please, Baba Shah.
Verse 12. And he looked this way and that way, and when he saw that there was no man, he slew the Egyptian and hid him in the sand.
Right? You know what I'm saying? He seen what was being done to his brother, so he took it upon himself to take action. Now, I'm not saying that any, black man, we should go out there and try to harm our oppressors. That's not what we're about, right? Even Moses was later taught that that did not help free his people, and he was properly taught on how to get it done. You know what I'm saying? But at that time, before he was raised up in the truth, he took it upon himself to help his brother. You know what I'm saying? Because he's seen how much they was being abused. That's like no different from, imagine seeing George Floyd, a grown ass man, being choked out in the middle of the street and yelling for his mother. How you think you would respond to that? How would that make you feel? You know what I'm saying? Anybody can see that what was being done was wrong. Well, guess what? Moses seen what was being done to his brother was wrong as well, too. Read on.
And when he went out the second day, behold, 2 men of the Hebrews strove together. And he said to him that did the wrong, Wherefore smitest thou thy fellow? And he said, Who made us thee a prince and judge over us?
Right. Read on.
Intendest thou to kill me as thou killedest the Egyptian?
Right. So now, if I could pause you there real quick, right? He went out the second day, and the second day he ended up seeing 2 brothers fighting each other. Right? One black man fighting against another black man. What that don't sound familiar? Don't sound familiar to y'all? Black on black crime, there it is. Or what they label as black on black crime. Right? Moses went out and seen that. And he was like, hold on, we're not supposed to be acting like this. Right? So he went to go break it up. And they responded in a way that's defending the slave master, the 2 brothers. Why would they respond that way? Anyway, let's give it a shot.
I think it's like,
Go ahead.
I think, we've always had pride. You know what I'm saying? We don't like being told.
That's for sure damn true. A black man don't nothing more than a black man hate than another black man speaking on his behalf. That is for sure true. But that's not exactly why they defended the slave master. Right? Here is another black man breaking up 2 black men from fighting. You know what I mean? And they have an issue with it. Why is that?
Lack of love for one another. A lot.
Damn right. That's a good answer. Lack of love for one another. Right. Why is that? Why they got lack of love? He said, were they brainwashing away from having been in captivity? I mean, she gave the answer, basically. You know what I'm saying? Get a sister ahead. Slavery. Right? Slavery will do that to you. Slavery will make you lose out love for one another. Remember, these are slaves that's fighting against each other. The Hebrews were slaves under Egypt. And when Moses went to go break it up, they started defending the slave master. The only way they'll do that is because they are suffering from Stockholm syndrome. They've been abused so much from the slave master that they don't even see him as the enemy. And that's why the same thing today. We're quick to harm one another, but when it comes to oppressor, boy, we are the kindest thing on earth. The kindest thing on earth. Not knowing that the oppressor is the one that's abusing you.
Right.
He's the one that's harming you. He is the cause and the reason why we in the suffering we in today. There is no black man out there that has done as much damage as our oppressor has done unto us. There is no comparison. But the way we treat each other, you would have thought it was the Negroes that was out there whipping Toby. You thought it was a nigga. You know what I mean? You would have
Salakia.
thought it was a nigga who built the ships. And, you know what I'm saying? Took you on, sailed you across, and started whipping you and tell you to pick cotton.
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
It was niggas
There
on
was.
there though. Dude, and some of them plantations, that's
God damn.
in Salaki, not to,
Nah, I ain't with you.
but the movie Django, everybody done seen Django.
Mm-hmm.
And what Django said, he said he gonna be a slaver.
Mm-hmm.
They worse than the slave master.
God.
He said the slave that did the dirty work for the slave master
Mm-hmm.
was worse than the slave master. Cause why? He got to prove to the slave master that he's different from y'all,
Right.
and he's loyal to the oppressor. So he's
Mm-hmm.
gonna go far and beyond to prove that, to make
Mm-hmm.
that distinction, so the master know, okay, yeah, this a good nigga.
Yup.
You know what I'm saying? He a good
God.
watchdog. And the slaves hate the slave. So like,
Mm-hmm. Not facts, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what abuse would do to you. Like, your oppressor understood that. So he purposely made sure that we was at odds with one another. If I'm not mistaken, even in the movie The Django as well too, that they had us fight until the death, just for
yeah,
the oppressor entertainment.
mandingos.
You know what I'm saying? To the death. You know what I'm saying? And our people, we carry on that same trauma till this day. That same exact trauma. Well, we don't even look at the oppressor as the abuser, as somebody that we should try to retaliate towards. But our own, we done lost all the love for each other. Let's decide amongst ourselves that we should withhold all our love. How about we boycott this? Let's boycott our infatuation with wanting to be a part of America and give all that love exclusively to the black community. How about we do that? Negroes talking about boycotting Walmart and Target and every other company that don't support DEI. Who gives a damn? You was never a part of this country in the first place. How about we withhold our love and our support for this country and give that support back to our community? Build our own damn factories, build our own companies. We'll have our own Target. You know what I'm saying? We'll name it something Tajar, some, you know what I mean? I don't know, some Negro. You know what I'm saying? We'll name it something fly. You know what I'm saying? And we only shop in there. You know what I mean? How about we do that for a change? Because America has never ever loved us, and it never will.
Right.
Never will. All right. Oh, that was it. I don't know if you want to bring anything up.
Damn right, sir. Spot on.
Salak.
God, you got it, word.
I was looking for this verse, but it was saying you should not stand in the way of the blood, and so you should not stand. I need to find the verse, but it says you should not stand in the way of your brother, like the blood of, like, if something's happening to your brother, you must stand up for him, and that's a law. You understand? So I was trying to look for it, but couldn't find it in time.
Nah, no sweat. For sure. You know, this is what we build it in the ICCK. You know what I mean? Did you want to grab the question? Sister question?
Come, we can grab it real quick before we get on to the next topic.
All right.
She said, can she get a breakdown of Matthew 5:38 through 42? I read it, sir. You can break it down.
Oh, okay. All right.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 38. Ye have heard that it hath been said, an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth. But I say unto you, that ye raises.
Does it resist?
Oh, like it.
Nah,
Resist,
nah, no, sir.
not evil.
Mm-hmm.
But whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also.
God.
And if any man will sue thee at the law and take away thy coat, let him have thy cloak also. And whosoever shall compel thee to go a mile, go with him twain. Give to him that asketh thee, and from him that will borrow of thee, turn not thou away. Salah.
God, the water was God. And this is a perfect question because this is spot on to exactly what we're speaking about right now. Right? When Christ was making these statements, he was making it exclusively to his people. Because Christ only came for Israelites. Right? He only came for the people that was oppressed. The same way with Moses was only there to free his people for being oppressed as well too. You dig what I'm saying? So if you fast forward to the crisis time, right? He's speaking his words and teaching them how to separate from their slave masters. And the only way it's done is by teaching our people how valuable we are towards each other. We don't lost the value for each other. We don't look at each other and say and think to ourselves, well, hey, if I harm this brother, that's taken away from something precious of this earth. You know what I mean? That's taken away from a father or a husband or a brother or a cousin, a father figure that's so small within our community that we're so short of within our community. You know what I'm saying? If I harm this brother, would that diminish it? Would that make it even worse? Because we don't see the value in each other. We don't see each other as kings and priests. You know what I'm saying? But Christ came to teach his people who was under the captivity, under the Romans, how to serve God and to love one another. Right? So let's start from the top. Baba Kashar, if you could read that one more time.
Come on. Verse Matthew 5:38.
Mm-hmm.
Ye have heard that it hath been said, an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth.
Right. Which is where? Where is that found at? What is Christ quoting?
It's quoting the law.
He quoting the law. The laws is not done away with. Everything Christ taught came from the law. He didn't make up stuff out of thin air. You know what I mean? But he's trying to let us know what? The spirit behind the law. The whole spirit behind everything. He's trying to let us know, don't be so quick to harm one another whenever there's an issue. But allow your brother a second chance in making things right. Before you get to eye to an eye or tooth for a tooth, give him an opportunity to actually repay the wrong that he did unto you. Right? Read on.
Verse 39. But I say unto you, that ye resist not evil.
That you what?
Resist not evil.
Right. So you don't fall into the trap of wanting to do harm to your brother and sister. Because they've been doing plenty of that in the time of the Romans. And you look in our communities today, we're still doing plenty of it today. We have not resisted the evil that our oppressor placed on us. Because we don't want to hear the words of God. Read on.
Come. For whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn unto him the other also.
You should do what?
Turn to him the other also.
Now, I want to say this particular verse right here is also infamous in another time frame in American history. Who is also famous for using this verse right here? That helped catapult a certain movement in America.
Is it Martin Luther?
You said who?
Martin Luther?
Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King was one of the pioneers of the civil rights movement. And he misused this verse in trying to get our people to be non-violent towards our oppressor during the protest. He's the reason why brothers and sisters was getting their head busted open during those marches. You know what I'm saying? Putting our people in danger, in harm's way, to get their head busted, to get a dog to rip their flesh apart just to what? Sit on a white man's damn toilet? To eat his bland steaks or whatever he got cooking, his raisin salad? You want to sit in his restaurant that bad? Here's the thing. Martin Luther King misused this verse. This verse has nothing to do with you as a black man allowing your oppressor to abuse you and to mistreat you. This has nothing to do with that. This verse is exclusively talking to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians only. And it's saying exactly what I explained earlier, to allow your brother or sister a second chance on making things right. So if he smites you on one cheek, give him the opportunity to not smite you on the other cheek. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
If a brother do you harm, no sweat. There's still a chance for him to make things right. There's still a chance to make things right. Don't act as, we want to act as if forgiving is the hardest thing to do. It's not. We can definitely do it. You know what I'm saying? Black people, we are the most forgiving people on this earth. The problem is we're not forgiving when it comes to one another. That's the problem. When Botham Jean got killed in his own home from eating ice cream from a white police officer, his own family members in the courtroom gave that murderer a hug and said, we forgive her. Because you know why they forgave her? God told us to forgive her. But God ain't tell you to forgive your auntie that you had beef with for over 5 years because she didn't bring the macaroni the way you like it. But God ain't tell you to forgive your brother who accidentally stepped on your shoes when he was trying to get by. God ain't tell you to forgive your husband who pissed you off because he didn't, bend to every will that you wanted them to do. We can do it. We can definitely do it. If we can do it for them, we can definitely do it for each other. Right. This is what Christ came to teach. If somebody do you wrong, that doesn't give you the right to crash out on them. That's not the excuse for you to now act all irrational and just harm each other and curse each other out. That don't give you the green light. There is steps to this. There's levels to this. What we first must do, give your brother the benefit of the doubt. Give your sister the benefit of the doubt and say, hey, let's examine the situation. Maybe you didn't mean to smite me into my right cheek. Maybe you was just doing it out of the sheer of the moment. Let me give you that second chance. Let's turn a new leaf. Let me turn the other cheek to see if you can not do it again. That's what he was trying to teach us. And we need this the most. They don't need that. We need this the most. Right? Any more on that?
This verses 40 through 42.
About the colt, go before the judge. Right? Yeah. And Christ is just reiterating the same thing. Right? And just in a different context. Right? If you got an issue with a brother, don't be so quick. Don't be so quick to blow it up and find a way to start hating each other. That's not what the law was about. That's not what eye for an eye was about. It was about justice. That's what it was about. You know what I'm saying? But it's not about you just being unfair or you quick to snap on somebody at every minor inconvenience. That's not what it wasn't about. You know what I'm saying? Some things happen, and it wasn't even meant to be that way. Some things, sometimes things happen, and they was even trying to, push that energy on you. You know what I'm saying? There is always room to reconcile things and work things out. We just got to be willing to do it if we love God.
Right.
All right, and that's the word. Unless anything you want to add, my bad.
No, okay, that's quiet.
Yeah.
That's quiet. Yeah, so like with all this being said, like blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans definitely need to come back to the Lord. Because you can see in our community, it's not only the grown folk, but it's the children that's losing out also. And that's going to be, that should be a deal breaker for anybody's so-called claims of, wrong is wrong. I don't care how right you think you may be, wrong is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, next topic, you ready to go?
Yeah. So to you,
Get it. Next topic, how to deal with anxiety.
I think it's a good topic. This is a good topic.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
because
How to deal with anxiety.
anxiety, for most part, I would say it's a demon telling you things that are not true. And I'm gonna put myself into the equation. Sometimes I have anxiety, but I have to realize, like Commander Junior Hunter taught us, if you're entertaining a conversation in your head, most likely you're talking to a demon. And a demon is gonna tell that demon is telling you you can't do something, you shouldn't do something, or to do something that you shouldn't do. Like it's always gonna go against what's right. So if you have anxiety and you entertaining the thought of you doing something that ain't right, you need to, what I'm saying, take a step back and say, hey, what I'm doing here. You know what I'm saying? Or if you having thoughts to telling you to do something, and you having thoughts and some telling you not to do it, but you know it's the right thing to do, be entertaining the demon. Here in the ISUPK, we got counsel for that. We got men above us that teach us how to fight demons. And the way you fight it is the same way Christ fought it. Christ is the prime and perfect example on how to deal with fighting demons. And when your anxiety kick in, telling you like, oh man, and that when your anxiety kick in, it can make you create scenarios that are not even true. That's not even going to happen. But you thinking so far ahead, or you entertaining a thought that is a demon, you can create things in your mind to make it seem like it's real and it's really not. So you have to fight it the same way Christ fought the temptation when he was 40 days in fasting. Just think about that. All kind of, and when he was fighting himself, his own mind. He was fighting with. You know what I'm saying? Like how we all do.
Facts.
So just think about: have anybody ever fasted before? Pretty sure we all fasted. A day or two. A day of atonement. You got to fast for 48 hours.
24.
24 hours. My bad. Salami. 24.
Okay.
24 hours. Yahawadah fasted 40 days. 40 days. And we be crying about 24 hours. Just think about all the anxiety and all the demons he had to fight within his own self. Be like, you know what I'm saying? And he showed us that he could do it. And how did he fight? Let's get it. Let's get it real quick. Can we get it, sir? Before we,
Yeah. Go ahead, get down. Go ahead,
does
man.
anybody know where that starts at?
If I'm not mistaken, that's Matthew 4, if I'm correct.
It's, Matthew 4. That's right.
Okay.
All right, let's start.
This is Matthew
And then
chapter.
I'm going to break it down real quick, sir. Like,
Nah, listen, do your thing. Take as long as you want, boy.
This is Matthew chapter 4. Then the Spirit led Jesus up of the Salaki. Then was Jesus led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil.
mm-hmm.
And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hungered.
Right. So just think about that. No food, no water. You know what type of mental state that put you in? So just put yourself in your Yahawadah shoes, if you know what I'm saying, just for this moment. Being that we all had to do the Day of Atonement or we all fast. Now just multiply that times 40. You know what I'm saying? When we be fast, I know when I be fasting, every temptation come your way. Food, the smell of food, like, dang, that smell good. You want to eat, you want to break your fast. Or if you're doing like no food, no water, you see something like on Day of Atonement, most of the time I be at work and I have coworkers. So when I'm atoning, they in and out the cooler pulling out cold Gatorade and just seem like that shit just be in slow motion. The ice be dripping off it be cold as you know what I'm saying? And it just be, you know what I'm saying? My mental fucking with my spirit. My flesh is messing with my spirit. You know what I'm saying? So just think about that while we reading this. You know what I'm saying? So you can try to get it like how deep this is for you, how we try to get through this and come through that. Keep reading, boy. Chill out.
Kamakan. And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread.
Now he telling him, nigga, you hungry. Why don't you eat? If you the son of God, you can just take anything out here and make food out of it. You can take these stones and make food out of it. We know you hungry. You fasted 40 days. You haven't ate nothing in 40 days. Just go on and eat something. It'll be all right. Keep reading.
Kamakan. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God.
Bam. That's the rejuvenation. That's the strength. He quoted from the Bible. He's speaking to himself and telling himself, like, nah, we should, I'm going to obey the Most High. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna see this thing through. You know, I'm gonna see it through. We shouldn't live by bread alone, but by every word of the Most High. You got through that part. Go ahead.
Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city, and setteth him up on a pinnacle of the temple.
Keep going.
And said unto him, if thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone.
Now, this mental state of mind is telling him to commit suicide. Telling him to jump off and tempt the Lord to see if the Lord is gonna save you. First it was food. Now it's trying to see like, is the Lord really with you? If he is, you'll throw yourself off and he'll save you. If Christ was in his, you know, if he wasn't in this state of mind, he would never thought like that. But it's just his scenarios that's going on in his mind. Because like we said, he fasted 40 days and 40 nights. So all of his body, his flesh is weak. But you can see he's still in the spirit because he answering with the spirit of the Lord. He answering things that thus says the Lord. Keep reading.
And Jesus said unto him, Yahawadah said unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God.
Right. So you see the comeback? You see the answer that he's saying to overthrow whatever he's thinking in his mind, whatever, you know, thought he might have. He's answering it with a righteous comeback. Keep reading.
Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceedingly high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world, and the glories of them, and the glory of them, and said unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me.
Right. So now it's the temptation of being rich and powerful. You know what I'm saying? And he just didn't show him all the glory of these nations then and in the future. So he's seen it all. Now it's telling him to go up against the Most High, to drop his sword, as we say in the UPK, and gain all the wealth of the earth, of the world, gain the world. But he will lose his spirit if he gained the world. You know what I'm saying? Being rich and having all that stuff, when you don't gave up your spirit, all of that is vanity. It's vain. It adds up to nothing. Let's hear how he replied.
Then said Yahawadah unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve.
Right. So he know what, and in this point, he knew it was just Satan messing with his mental. He was having thought that wasn't righteous. And he answered them with righteous thought, with righteous comments. Thus says the Lord. That's how he defeated them demons. That's how he got rid of that anxiety. That's how he defeated all of that. That's what we have to do when you facing things like that. When you facing demons and you entertaining them demons because you thinking about stuff that's in your mind, do what Yahawadah did. Answer yourself with correction from the Bible. Correct yourself with righteousness and thus says the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And you will quickly gain your conscience back. You'll quickly get back on a solid level where you're supposed to be at. Christ gave us the blueprint in Matthew 4, or how we should deal with demons. Salaki, sir. That's what I just want.
Give it up. Telling you, man. The solution is right in front of us, man. You would have never thought, boy. Telling you, man. If I could just read this comment real quick. Sister said the magnitude of the tests he had to go through makes everything we battle seem minuscule. We fold under much less pressure. That's heavy. Facts, man. That's true. You know what I mean? 40 days fasted, like you said. It could have. You can imagine the thoughts that went through his head. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I could, I just want to ask this, right? If anybody can answer me this, right? What is the root word of anxiety? What does that word stem from? 'Cause, you know, anxiety, you know, it's a lot of things. You know, anxiety, you know, it's a lot of things. You know, anxiety, you know, it's a lot of things. You know, anxiety, you know, it's a lot of things. You know, anxiety, you know, it's a lot of things. You know, anxiety, you know, it's a lot of things. You know, anxiety, you know, it's a lot of things. You know, anxiety, you know, it's a lot of things. You know, anxiety, you know, it's a lot of things. You know, anxiety, you know, it's a lot of things. You know, anxiety, you know, it's a lot of things. You know, anxiety, you know, it's a lot of things. You know, anxiety, you know, it's a lot of things. You know, anxiety, you know, it's a lot of things. You know, anxiety, you know, it's a lot of things. You know, anxiety, you know, it's a lot of things. You know, anxiety, you know, it's a lot of things. You know, anxiety, you know, it's a lot of things. You know, anxiety, you know, it's a lot of things. You know, anxiety, you know, it's a lot of things. You know, anxiety, you know, it's a lot of things. You know, anxiety, you know, it's a lot of things. Anybody can answer me. That's heavy what you brought out, was.
Was anxious.
You said what, brother?
To be anxious, right?
Give the brother a hand, right? Anxious. You know what I'm saying? The person that's having an anxiety attack is oftentimes anxious, right? What could cause somebody to be anxious for something?
Salaki.
Go ahead.
Lack of things.
Lack of things, which is true. Anybody else want to give it a shot?
So like,
Go ahead.
wanting something so bad.
Wanting something so bad. That's right on it. And then the sister brought it home. Worry. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. Right? Worry. You know what I mean? Is what caused people to be anxious. The uncertainty of certain things. Like, you don't know the outcome. You want it, but you don't know if you're gonna get it. You dig what I'm saying?
Damn.
But if you do get it, you don't know if you want it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just your mind is all over the place because you're worried. You're worried. You get what I'm saying? And that's where the root of anxiety comes from. Comes from an intense feeling of worry. All right? And the Bible speaks about that as well, like the brother just said, that brought out Matthew 4. You know what I'm saying? Also, Chaanak was letting you know Christ dealt with the same thing. You know what I'm saying? He fleshed just like you and me. And he taught us how to overcome it. You can overcome whatever issue you're dealing with. The answer is in the Bible. I guarantee you can find it in the Bible. If I could, also can I grab one verse?
Grab 3.
Can I grab Philippians 4 and 6? I think that's what I want. 4 and 6.
Come.
You got it, Ward.
Philippians chapter 4, verse 6. Be careful for nothing.
Be what?
Careful for nothing.
What does it mean when it said be careful for nothing? Does it mean we shouldn't care about things? Like, what is this talking about? Somebody can. If I could, I want to have somebody in the chat answer that. What does it mean when we just read, be careful for nothing? Or unless you want to answer, Fred. I'm sure Chaanak know. I don't want Chaanak to give it away. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to give it a shot, Fred, you could as well. You know what I'm saying?
When I see that, I think, like in all things, be careful. Even nothing, just be careful. I think it's exaggerating. That's just.
I mean, that's a good, from what you see, I mean, that was a good enough answer, you know what I'm saying? But, that's not exactly what it's saying. It's not what it's saying. All right? Who else want to give it a shot? That was from the other question. That was from the.
God, sir, I was just trying to throw a hand out there.
Sister said, does it mean to not be careless or not to give too much care to lesser things? It's kind of similar to what Fred said, kind of, but not quite, like not spot on. You dig what I'm saying? Because it's not necessarily, I mean, of course you shouldn't be careless, you know what I'm saying? But in this scripture, there you go. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about a damn thing. Be careful for nothing. Meaning, don't worry. That's what it's saying. And right, get to the head. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry. Don't worry. Right? When we get over anxious, we be OCD over everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when that anxiety start to hit,
Heck yeah.
boy, you know what I'm saying? You be over everything. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you just gotta relax and take a breather, right? And realize as well that there is a greater power out there that's handling things for you too. You know what I'm saying? There's a greater power out there. That's dealing. I was worried about that's a good.
Oh,
God, read on get back.
come. But in everything, by prayer and
Mm-hmm.
supplication
Mm-hmm.
with thanksgiving,
Mm-hmm.
let your requests be made known unto God.
Let your what?
Requests be made known unto God.
Unto God, right? You got to understand that there is a greater force, a greater being out there that controls the whole universe,
Mm.
right? He controls everything. You understand what I'm saying? And as long as you serve him, align your spirit with him, you can trust and believe that things will work out. You got to trust that things will work out. Don't just say it, but actually do it. Show that you trust the Lord. You know what I'm saying? So when your anxiety hit, know that there's a greater power that's gonna make things work out for you. You worrying about too much right now. You know what I'm saying? Don't you not believe in God? Right? I think we brought this out in a couple classes ago, right? Like the Lord is not a bully. He's not a bully. You know what I mean? Like he's a father. That's what you want to think about him as. A father. He's not trying to out there just trying to jam you up and beat you up all day. You know what I'm saying? To make your life miserable. That's not his goal purpose. You get what I'm saying? He's a father. When you disobey him, he punishes you. That's what he does. You know what I'm saying? You act right, he rewards you. You know what I'm saying? So either or comes from God. Good and bad comes from him. You ain't gotta worry about trying to think about too far ahead. You know you're doing what's right according to God's word. Just know things will work out for you. You know what I'm saying? It will work out for you. The Bible says, sufficient for the day is the evil thereof. Like you constantly thinking that I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that, I want that. You know what I'm saying? And we neglect our needs. So focused on what we want, we start to neglect our needs. The Lord knows exactly what you need. And when the time is right, you will get it. You know what I'm saying? You will get what you need. Not all your wants. He's not a genie. But he'll give you what you need when the time is right. Right? Let me get one more First Peter 5. one more 5:3. And I'm done. Done.
Like you
Promise.
say, what, sir?
First Peter's 5:3. 5:3. Five and let me get there. Five and start me at verse 6, my bad. 5 and 6.
Khan. This is First
Oh, you
Peter.
don't have memory? All right.
So I didn't know.
No, go ahead, get down. You got it.
This is First Peter chapter 5, verse 6. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time.
In when?
In due time.
Not in our time. but on his time, right? On his time. You gotta trust that it's going to happen. Now, with anxiety, you may think, I need this right now. I need to get it done. I want it to be done right now, instantly, snap of the finger, boom, it's done. It's out the way. It don't work that way. Some things do take time. There's a process to certain things. Sometimes you have to be built up to that moment. You dig what I'm saying? Like right now, you may not be fit to get it right now, spiritually. Because if you do get it, you might, excuse my language, fuck it all up. You get what I'm saying? You might fuck it all up. So when the due time, when the time you're ready for it, then you will receive it. But you got to trust that the Lord will provide it for you. Don't worry. Right? Read on.
Casting all your cares upon him, for he careth for you.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And listen, the crazy thing is, with us coming into the truth, this is something that we kind of lose sight of a little bit. Right? And I can speak for myself as well too. Like when I first started coming in, right? Because in the Christian church, they only focus on just praying and singing and dancing for God. That's all they do. No actions, no work, no keeping the commandments at all. So now you transition into the truth. You understand that it's not necessarily about how much you pray or how hard you pray or how hard you dance and sing for God, but it's more so about the actions that you display in keeping his commandments. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm here to tell you, as being in the truth, prayer is just as important as you keeping the commandments as well, too. Right? You want to add that to your repertoire. You know what I'm saying? You want to add that, fit that in your schedule some way, somehow. Right? Remember the widow that begged the unjust judge to avenge her of her enemies. Are y'all familiar with that? Right? And the judge end up answering her command not because he was just, because she kept on asking him and nagging him for it. You know what I'm saying? Well, God, being a righteous judge, what makes you think he won't give you the things that you need if you ask him for it? What father you know would give his son a serpent if he asked him for food to eat? No good father would do that. You know what I'm saying? What makes you think God would do the same? God is a righteous father, a great father that we have. So when we come into the truth, when we pray, just know that he hears our prayers because our actions back it by us keeping the commandments. The Lord ain't hearing what the church is doing. He don't give a damn all about all that singing and all that praying and all. He ain't hearing none of that because they ain't none of them doing what the Lord told them to do. You know what I'm saying? But have the confidence in the truth that when you pray, the Lord is hearing it. He's with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing what he tells me to do. I ain't got words. I'm not eating pork, not eating crab, I ain't shrimp, lobsters, not celebrating these wicked holidays. I'm not joining myself to my oppressor. I'm not joining no religion. I'm going to maintain my strength and my integrity by serving God. And guess what? The Lord is going to reward you for it. Man. But you got to trust him. Got to have faith in him. You know what I'm saying? That things will work out. And they always do. They end up always working out. You know what I'm saying? Don't it? One thing you will find in the Bible that the Lord is real consistent with is being with the underdog. You know what I'm saying? The Lord loves a good underdog story. You get what I'm saying? He loves to take the people, the person that everybody least expect to win, and make them a winner. You know what I'm saying? And your life is exactly that. Don't nobody expect you to be anything great, but God sees the greatness in you. So don't worry, he will raise you up in due time when he's ready, when he seems fit. You just got to be obedient. All right? And that's all I want to add.
I'm kind of get that preach the top of the hand. Because, whoa, whoa, whoa. You know what I'm saying? And another thing I want to bring out too. Um, are y'all familiar with the story when the disciples tried to cast out the demon and they asked Yahawadah why they couldn't get it?
Yeah, God.
Can we get that?
Yeah, let's grab that.
And this all ties into anxiety, fighting demons, and all of this because, like our Yahawadah said, the solution is right in the Bible. Any question that you might have, anything that you're going through, the answer is right in these scriptures. That's what's so heavy about these records because they were meant for us. They were given to us. It was real life situations that people went through and got real life results from the Most High, and they wrote them down. And like the scriptures say, things that were written aforetime is for our learning. Meaning we ought to learn, you know what I'm saying, from these things, whether they're good or bad. They all are learning tools to walk the straight path in this truth. When it comes to serving the Most High and our King Yahawadah. So whenever you got it, Fred, you got it. You can start. If you know where it's at.
Okay.
God, I think it's in Mark. Oh, you got it, Fred?
I got Matthew.
Oh, Matthew. Oh, yeah, it's in Matthew as well. They Matthew 17.
17 and 19.
Go ahead.
Then came the disciples to Jesus apart and said, "Why could not we cast him out?" And Jesus said, and Yahawadah said unto them, "Because of your unbelief."
Right. Like you gotta have belief, you gotta have faith that whatever you asking the Most High for, He gonna come through. You can't be praying in the midst and then like what I used to say, you can't be praying and worrying at the same time. Either you gonna worry about it or you gonna pray about it and leave it in the Lord's hand. You can't do both.
If I could, because my bad. I'll
You
read
like
listen, it's like we at camp right now, because what you bringing out is too heavy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Get his brother ahead, because what the priest is bringing out is heavy, man. I just want to add one little thing to what you're saying, because it's so spot on. Like, you just got to trust. Y'all ever heard the saying, thoughts manifest? You ever heard that before? You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers that be out here in the world be like, yeah, thoughts manifest and all that bullcrap. Which is all BS. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, right? But I would say this, right? The energy that you do put out is the same thing that you will get in return. You dig what I'm saying? Like the Bible says in Luke 6, what you do unto your brothers, the same will be done unto you. I'm paraphrasing. You dig what I'm saying? Like what you put out is what you reap what you sow. You get in what you in return. So if you have the confidence in your mind and you weave out all the lies that's telling you that it's not going to happen, you know what I'm saying? And if you have the confidence that's going to happen, you put that energy out there, it's going to come right back. You know what I'm saying? The Lord sees your efforts, and He sees the fact that you actually do believe. And you think He's not going to happen, but the minute you doubt, the minute you put that out there, it ain't going to happen for you. You know what I'm saying? You just got to really believe. The same way motherfuckers manifest thoughts and some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Well, manifest God. How about you do that? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we need to put that same type of mindset. That's all I was going to say. My bad.
Nah, that's right on, sir. Damn right. Fred, you can continue.
Kamakan. For verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove.
Right. So if anybody knows, the mustard seed is like the smallest seed, one of the smallest seeds. And Christ is saying, if you can have this much of faith, true undoubting faith, you can make something big happen. You know what I'm saying? You can conquer something big depending on what it is that you're trying to either take down or build up. Either way, long as you got this amount of faith in the Most High, it ain't say you had to have this amount of faith, which you should have all the faith in the world in your Lord God. But he's saying even the ones that have a little faith, if you truly believe in that little faith, you can create mountains out of breadcrumbs. You can move something big, or you can take something big and make it a small thing. Or you can take something small and make it big. Or you can say, he said, you can move a mountain and tell it to move this way, and it's going to move because the whole thing about it is you trusted in the Lord. That's where your results are going to come from. That you trusted in that the Lord is going to do it. And even the Bible says this, don't keep praying about the same thing, asking the Lord the same thing. You got to ask him something 1,000 times. Ask him one time and keep faith that he's going to answer it. And like Officer Falshop said, in due time, if it's meant for you, you'll get it. I don't ask the Lord for things when I needed it. Like, I couldn't wait. Like, Lord, I need about 24-hour type joint. And he put people in place. He put things in place because I kept my faith in him. I prayed unto him and gave it up to him and trusted in that he was going to do it. And he did it. And that's the thing that should also let you know that the Lord is with you. When you pray for something and you in a bind or you in the struggle or you in anything you in, and you ask the Lord for help and he helps you and he comes through for you, you should know that the Lord is with you. Because how else would that even happen if he wasn't with you? You know what I'm saying? How else would anything get resolved if the Lord didn't hear your prayer? You doing right by him, he's definitely going to do right by you. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
And nothing shall be impossible unto you.
Nothing should be impossible. Anything you ask for, if you got that faith, it should, like, nothing is impossible. Like, Christians misuse this quote all the time. Is there anything too hard for the Lord?
Right. Listen, you
They
can't tell a
love to
Christian
say
nothing,
that,
boy.
but they don't know the true meaning of it.
Mm-hmm.
They use it and use it wickedly. You know what I'm saying? To get all kind of self-pleasure and self-gain and stuff. But it's really telling the true believer in the Lord that follow his laws, statutes, and commandments, no matter what come your way, it ain't nothing that's too big or too hard for the Lord that he can't wipe out. Long as you stay on the path, long as you stay true to the Most High. Come on, he's the creator of heaven and earth and all things. What can possibly stop him? You know what I'm saying? Can you read verse 21 for me? Because this is going to bring it home.
Verse 21. Howbeit, this kind goeth not out, but by prayer and fasting.
But by what?
Prayer and fasting.
Sometimes you got to pray and fast with certain things. Sometimes you got to fast and you got to just deny your flesh certain things and to build your spirit up so that you're strong spiritually. And when you step to the Most High, your spirit is strong. Your conscience is strong. Your faith is strong. That's how you get rid of certain things. That's how you fight certain demons that just don't go away by the way you defeated the first time. You gotta pray and you gotta fast. Fasting is good because it builds your spirit up. So if you haven't done that in, what I'm saying, your battle and your warfare, you should. That's a tool. That's a weapon of war. We in war. You be like, dang, when the last time I fasted? Maybe I need to fast. You know what I'm saying? I already asked the Most High. I got faith He's gonna do it, but maybe I need to discipline myself a little more. Maybe I need to discipline my thought process and my flesh and build my spirit up to help me get over whatever is standing in the way. Because the Lord already got it planned out on what He gonna do. Maybe I need to get psychologically fit. You know what I'm saying? Spiritually fit for whatever comes my way, for whatever answer it may be. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Christ was telling His disciples. So that's what He's telling us also. Praying and fasting also helps. Not just, you know what I'm saying, you thinking like, oh, well, I'm going to just leave it up to the Lord. The Lord want to see you go through it. He also want to see you defeat it and grow. You know what I mean? So when somebody else, when another brother or sister might later on down the line go through something that you already done conquered, you can pass on the cheat code on how to do it. You can tell them what to do and how you got over certain situations. That's how we build each other up and bring each other up. You know what I'm saying? Iron sharpen iron. Like, we take our situation, somebody gonna deal with the same thing you've been dealing with, or is going through the same thing you're going through, and might not have the knowledge that you had. And when you get over that situation and when you conquer that situation, you pass it along. Hey, I remember you said you were going through the same thing. I'm going through that joint right now. What did you do? Oh, well, brother, I did this and I did that. That's brotherhood. That's loving one another. The Christian church don't do that. Oh, I'll pray for you. No, they ain't gonna say a damn thing. They gonna go back and tell somebody else what you're going through, and you don't went to them in confidence.
Don't pray for me, please.
That
That shit gonna make things worse.
right. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even gonna care.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But we care in the Isupk because we love our brothers and sisters in Him. So that's why we do what we do. So yeah, that's what I just wanted to bring up. Praying and fasting also help.
Damn right, man. Damn right.
Can I add something on that?
Go ahead.
I did a fast for like 3 days and I felt like I was about to. So imagining him doing it for 40 is beyond me. And when the Bible and the word says that, don't live by bread but by every word. When I tell you, when I read, I don't exaggerate this. When I read the word while fasting, I wasn't hungry. It was like my food. That's my experience, but
Yeah, fasting is definitely a tool. That's good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Of course, people out there that do decide to fast, you know what I mean, don't do anything that's detrimental to your health. You're not Yahawadah. You cannot go 40 days. So don't think about it. You know what I'm saying? But 3 days, 2 days, 1 day, whatever you see fit for your health, and get down because it's definitely going to help. Definitely going to help, man. That's heavy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Alright. So if it's meant to be, if it's meant for you to have it, then you will. If you don't get it, it's not meant for you. That's it.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's no sweat off your back. You got everything else you wanted. Got a roof over your head, food in your fridge, clothes on your back. It's all right. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. Trust and believe there is somebody out there that's suffering far worse. And now that's hard for us to put in our thought process, but it's true. There's a lot of things we take for granted in our day-to-day life. You don't even know. There's people out there that's living far worse. If they can get through it, what makes you think you can't get through?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got electricity, AC, the wind, you feel nice and comfortable inside your safe home. There's people out there that don't even have that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, don't take your position for granted. Things will work out when it's needed, when it's time for it. Not on your timing, but the Lord's timing. Be patient, keep your faith, and trust it will work out.
Right. You know, it's a lot. If I may, I wouldn't
Get
suggest
down.
you. I wouldn't suggest you pray to the Lord that you hit the lotto, because you know if you hit the lotto, you get that money. Niggas ain't gonna see you. Like you gonna be out of here. You know what I'm saying? And God
God.
saved you from a lot of your done behind prayers. The Lord knows if you praying for a Corvette, He know you gonna crash that thing into a tree. He ain't gonna let you kill yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, you ain't getting that Corvette. You getting that 6-cylinder Mazda. Oh,
Niggas pray that next scratch is the next $1 million scratch on that scratch off.
right. You know what I'm saying? You getting what you need. You getting that Honda Accord that'll get you back safely from A to B. You know what I'm saying? You don't need no damn Corvette or no Ferrari or nothing like that, because Lord knows what you gonna do with it.
God, if I could ask, I don't mean to cut you off,
Yeah,
because
go ahead, sir.
what you bring it out is so heavy. Like, it's like we never pray for character. Like, when it comes to character building, why we don't never pray for that? But we always pray for something materialistic. Why
Right.
not ask God for wisdom, for integrity, for strength, for a clear mind? You dig it? Like, that stuff is more of value than a damn Corvette that you're gonna crash the next day. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Ask God for character. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where real wealth is at. You know what I mean? I just want to add that.
Nah, so that's dead on. Like that's
Yeah,
dead
right.
on. Like the Lord said, it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man to get into heaven.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like He knows what mindset that rich people in. They don't care about nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
So just think about you not having nothing, then all of a sudden you got this big lonesome thing of money. What you gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
You gonna put the Lord on the back burner,
Mm-hmm.
and you gonna make that money your God.
Right.
Because with that money, you ain't gotta wait on the Lord to get what you want.
Mm-hmm.
You can just buy it, and you gonna get whatever your heart desire, if it's good or bad for you. The Lord
Mm-hmm.
don't play them type of games.
Right.
He always want good for you, but He also is a father. So
Mm-hmm.
He's protecting us from a lot of things that is bad for us that we might want.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ain't in the spirit, you won't see it until later on. Like I done seen some shit that like damn, Lord be watching over my dumb ass. like you know what I'm saying? Like damn, the Lord be
Right.
looking out for me. You know what I'm saying? That was like, damn, something that you might
Um,
want so bad, just because your heart desire it, don't mean that it's for you.
mm-hmm.
And like Officer Thalshop said, and if the Lord wants you to have it in due time, you'll have it. But He ain't gonna get you something that's gonna break you down. He ain't gonna give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be your flesh doing that. You ain't in the spirit if you want something that is not righteous or right for you. So you just better take heed on what you ask the Lord for.
Mm-hmm.
Because if He don't give it to you, it ain't meant for you to have, like Officer Thalshop said.
Yeah, right, man. Most I ain't Christ. If I can grab one more, Chaanak, you think we got time for one more?
Go ahead, sir. This your show.
Nah, man. Just let me know what you think. What you had? You had anything?
No, I didn't. That was done. I didn't have nothing.
Okay. Okay, I'll grab one more. Just Matthew 11:28. And I'll be to right. Content and grateful always. Yes. Gratitude. Can anybody tell me the definition of gratitude? What is the definition of gratitude? You wanted to give it a shot?
Salaki. It means to be content, happy in the little things and whatever you got.
Right. Gratitude goes a long way. You know what I mean? A lot of times it happens so often, especially amongst Christians, where they think that they are God's boss, that they can just demand God whatever they want, and God is better answer it because you under my feet and I have the authority. You know what I'm saying? That's what they love to say. God gave you the authority to live. No, you're not his boss, man. You know what I'm saying? Be grateful. He ought to kill you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How dare you even step to him to ask him for anything? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how filthy some of you are. All right? So you want to just check yourself, check your spirit when you come into the Most High.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You want to say something, Chaanak?
No, I just said, no, you're right, sir. Like,
Oh, nah, Khan. Right, Khan. Most High Christ. Let's get that Matthew 11 and 28. And anything you want to say, you know what I mean? If you got any other one.
oh, okay, I read. Matthew chapter 11, verse 28.
Mm-hmm.
Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden.
Or what?
Heavy laden.
Right. That's the pressures that come with life. You know what I mean? Like the pressures is having anxiety, having so much burdens and things you have to deal with, not able to manage certain things. You constantly in your head, constantly thinking about this. The Lord is saying, come unto me, those who have heavy burdens, right? Read on.
And I will give you rest.
And I will do what?
Give you rest.
I will give you rest. He will give you the tools in order to fight it off. We brought some of those out today, right? Also, Chaanak taught you how Yahawadah battled in his mind in the wilderness. You know what I'm saying? And how praying and fasting is going to benefit you. And having the right mindset is going to help you, right? All these things is the tools that you need to fight off these heavy burdens. You know what I mean? It takes effort. It takes you putting in the work in order to get these things done, right? You don't want to think about wishful thinking. And that's the issue as well too, instant gratification, right? A lot of people expect that anxiety to go away like that or to deal with your problems like this. It don't happen like that. You know what I mean? So some of us, we run to medication. We run to, which is not wrong. Not wrong with taking, please take your medication if you're a crazy
Right.
motherfucker. Don't come around me spazzing out. So
Yeah. That's
yeah.
niggas throwing their pills away. I told you it was
Right.
nah, nigga, you prescribe that medication, you better take it.
Take that medication. What I'm talking about, the medication is, I'm talking about that gets you high. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all run to them drugs, run to them some Xanax, some pills that you know you're not supposed to be taking. You know what I'm saying? And get yourself lifted. You know what I mean? When you're not willing to put in the effort, not willing to put in the work, put in the tools in order to fight off whatever dealing with mentally. Right? Read on.
Come, verse 29. Take my yoke upon you
Mm-hmm.
and learn of me.
And do what?
Learn of me.
Right. Did not Christ say, paraphrasing, if you come to serve me, carry your cross? I'm paraphrasing.
Come.
All right. Carry your cross and follow me. You know what I mean?
Pick up
Like,
your cross.
pick up your cross, kind. You know what I mean? Like, it's work. It's work that got to be put in. And in the midst of you displaying your faith, trust and believe that the Lord is with you. Not once in everything that Yahawadah went through, he ever doubted the Lord. He might have felt weak a little bit, right? His flesh mate had got the best of him, but he still followed through. And like the sister said, mentioned earlier, we're not even going through the little minuscule of what Yahawadah went through.
Right.
And if we come to serve him, we have to have that same mindset, have that same confidence and faith within ourselves. A Christian does. You can't tell their ass nothing. You can't tell them they think God is in their back pocket.
Right.
Why can't you have the same confidence now that you're actually doing what God says to do? Read on.
For I am meek and lowly.
He is what?
For I am meek and lowly in heart.
Right. He's not like these pastors and politicians who's going to add more to the burden that you're going through. Well, brother, you're not tithing hard enough. Maybe if you gave 20 instead of 10%, the Lord might answer you, and then your lights get cut off. They take all your money and your lights get cut off. It's not what Christ is coming expecting to do to you. He has solutions, unlike the Christian church. Read on.
And ye shall find rest unto your souls.
You will find what?
Rest unto your souls.
A peace of mind, ease, a clear mind. That's what it ain't nothing more precious than that. You can have anything in the world, but if you ain't clear-minded about it, you can lose it all overnight. You know what I'm saying? And those anxiety attacks, like the brothers brought out, ain't nothing but a voice in your head telling you something that's not real. It's not there. It's all in your head. What's real is what's in front of you. And what's in front of you is what? Your arms, your feet, your legs, breathing, you got a roof, clothes, food, good. If you see those things, you're good. You ain't got to worry about the unknown, because everything you need is right in front of you. And with that, that's all I have.
Yeah, that's pretty spot for the hand. And with that, we're going to end the class on that note. You know what I'm saying? You want to say Tawada to everybody that's tuned in. Like, share, subscribe. Big Tawada to Officer Power Shop. Tawada to Fred for reading and holding us down. Tawada to everybody in the chat. Passover, April 12th. We in Hot Atlanta from the 9th through the 12th through the 13th. You know what I'm saying? Y'all come through and see what real brotherhood and sisterhood look like. Come get a little bit, a slice of the kingdom of heaven of what we are looking forward to. And we got all kind of things going on. The Black Party, Hebrew graduation. You know what I'm saying? Y'all come through. $200 and y'all good to go. You know what I'm saying? You know, so, you know, join us, pay your tithes to the UPK so he can build up this nation. You know what I'm saying? So we can get the hell out of here. Y'all see what Trump doing. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't tired. I always say shit. I'm tired of paying rent. You know what I'm saying? So let's get it together, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, share, subscribe. You know, tell people about the classes. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just, you know, love one another like Yahawadah said. So, you know what I'm saying? With that, we up out of here. Yahawadah Shem Shabrak Thumb to the brothers. Yahawadah Shem Yahawadah Shem Yahawadah to the sisters. Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.